Starting to get
Ladies
even
and
more.
gentlemen, Luke Pezutti, the head coach of George Mangos. Now, you were just telling me it's all you, yeah?
I would love to be able to say that, but I cannot take that credit.
Talk about the first time George Mangos walked into the gym.
You know what, when he walked in, he came in with another guy, I know, Marlon Brown, and he was such a fresh-faced young kid. I was almost going to tell him to go to the kids' classes.
How old was he?
What was he? He
was a baby, eh?
17, yeah. And 15, 16, something like that. 15 maybe, 16. And yeah, so he come on a jiu-jitsu class, and I was like, oh, all right, well, you've come with Marlon, I'll let you jump in this class.
How old was Marlon at the time?
Marlon in his early 20s.
Yeah, so like an adult.
Adult, yeah. Adult who had a couple of fights as well, who'd been around, you know. So I was like, yeah, jump in, and, you know, mate, just watching George, I was thinking, and he's just impressing. I was like, well, okay. This kid's got, like, you know, he's got something in him, like he's got no quit, that's for sure. I mean, technical skill, and that he was sort of, you'd see he was like lacking it a bit, but what he lacked in technique, he made up for in heart. And that was like the start of the journey, and then as he's just grown and grown and grown, he's just got better and better and better, hey? And he's just become this animal.
Better and better and better, eh, George? Better and better and better.
The best is yet to come.
Now, before I finish with you and then move on to George, you've run your own promotion. You've obviously run Lions Den for a very long time. Like, this obviously seems a bit redundant, but just how good is George Mangos?
He's Michael Jordan of MMA from Australia. That's how good he is.
That good?
Yeah, he's that good. He's another level. You know, you could just see it from a young age. You just see he's got this spark. He's got this intuition. He's got this drive inside him. You know, he's such a good kid. He's different from everybody else. You know, if you're an up-and-coming fighter, I mean, he's 21. If you're up-and-coming and you want to, you know, be like someone, you want to be like George, you know.
Is it off the mat as well as on the mat?
Oh yeah, gentleman off the mat, you know, he's there for everybody. Like, you know what, if we got boys fighting in 2 weeks. Yeah, we got boys fighting in 2 weeks. He'll be there on Monday training with him, you know. He'll be backing up, and, you know, he looks like he hasn't taken any injuries out. He might have a little bit of a knock or whatever, but, you know, he's there for everyone else, and he'll turn up. You know, we go interstate, you know, you've seen us every other fight show. He's pretty much there unless he's got fights coming up. So he's a real good team member. He gives back. He gives back to the young ones. He helps me coach the kids. You know, he helps out. Mate, he's finishing training sessions. He's the guy mopping the mat. You know, it's not gone to his head. He's grounded. He's good.
Is it his athleticism? Is it his like ability to sort of, does he do extra hours? Like, what is it about, or does he just get it? Like, what is it about George that makes him so special?
I think he's growing into this more and more as we go. Like, from his last fight in November last year to this fight, and we thought coming into this fight there might be a pull out in UFC, we might get a late call up. So really we've been trying to peak for 3 weeks ago, and then it was like a bit of a, you know, game, just trying to manage it through to get to this time and not burn out and not get injured or anything like that. So, you know, I think, you know, he's got more gears to go up.
Now, I mean, his opponent, obviously ADC Oceania champion, Australian national wrestling captain. Like, I mean, what was the sort of, I don't want to say fear level, but what was that level of concern heading into this matchup?
Yeah, well, look, and Ethan, to his credit, you know, taking this fight, it was a dangerous one, but it's a smart move. It's sort of what we did with Justin of, you know, look, if we can take out the biggest guy, we can really jump the queue and get right up there and you know, not have to have all these medium fights. So it was tough. I mean, Ethan's had a few injuries that have set him back. He's got other aspirations with ADCC, and then with even Commonwealth Games, the Olympics. I think he made the Olympic team and didn't want to really push ahead and go with that, or he maybe just missed out in the end or something. So he's very high level with that. George, he's just dedicated himself to fighting. We train twice a day, every day, once on Sunday sort of thing. And he's there every session pushing and pushing and pushing. And I've got a good crew of young boys who are all doing the same with him, and he's bringing everyone up. Ethan's still working jobs, and he's a part-time fighter, mate, so unless you're a full-time fighter like George is doing, unless you're putting in the hours like all these boys are doing, that's what the result, mate. 1 from 1, 2 from 2, 1 round apiece. No one's getting to the end of the first round.
And personally, I mean, what is it like? I mean, I know, he's got a good family and everything, but there's obviously a bit of a father-son relationship there. Like, how does it feel sort of guiding this young man into sort of the next, I mean, he's going to be a fucking superstar. So what is that like, guiding him and sort of almost protecting him as well from that world?
Yeah, well, I mean, the journey is fun, like it's fun, and I think we're both growing into it, like he's recently signed with the Chosen One, so meeting Tim and sort of now we get our head around, okay, well, is it international next? I'm sure it's going to happen, like I think Contender Series, we're there, so, it's now, like that's the next level for him. And I suppose keeping him grounded, like you said, he's got a good family. I think everyone around him keeps him grounded, and he's just so focused, and he looks after himself. He's just a really good guy inside the gym, outside the gym, for everyone.
And let's look at this, March 1st, 2025. Can George Mangos become a champion of the world?
Oh, 100%, within 3 years.
And before I let you go, Maran Rahiki, the Scottie Pippen to his Jordan. Talk about Marwan, and he's really under the radar, but Jesus, man, he's like the Australian Anderson Silva. Can you talk about him?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's probably pretty hard being Marwan right now with George casting the shadow, but they work so well together as all the boys do. I think Marwan, he's in a funny predicament. I think he's ready for a Contender Series start, but we're ready for a couple of Australian titles first. I think a couple of guys on notice. Like, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get a couple belts, not just one belt.
Well, geez, Luke Pezutti, man, you've been around for a long time. Obviously, you ran one of the best promotions of all time as well, and you took a gamble with George doing this. You left the Eternal Grand Prix to go after the Hex belt, and it looks like, fuck, man, it's really worked out, and I couldn't be happier for you. And it feels like that second stage of your career as well, and you're almost starting to get even more hype than you ever had before. So congratulations, you fucking earn it, and I can't wait to see what's next.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mitch. Thank you.